The city is largely dependent on groundwater.
Who can promise the water? Neither the builders have a plan on water, nor the Haryana government.
There is no connected sewage system.
And in fact, in some places, storm water goes into the sewage lines, and in some places, the sewage is going into what should be the storm water.
There will be no water. Gurgaon is going to have a huge problem if we don't start working on it now.
We thought we should feel happy water level is rising, but guess what? Their water level has risen with sewage water.
I don't think we have come close to solving the problem yet. We're only extending the deadline.
Gurgaon, the second largest city in the state of Haryana, had a small population of farming community about 20 years back. The last 2 decades has witnessed a tremendous growth of Gurgaon. The sleepy Gaon suddenly turned into Millennium City with swanky offices, sprawling malls, and tall residential towers with fancy names. The transformation was swift and impeccable, at least on the surface. This logical growth of Gurgaon was apparent as the neighboring political hub of India, Delhi, was getting cluttered and lacked space in the face of growing demands.
Here, Gurgaon was stony sort of ground. It was full of rocks and boulders, and so very few people thought that Gurgaon would be, a town the way it is now. The only problem is that when this town was built, it was built really for plotted houses. So 300 square yards, 200 square yards, 500 square yards, people would build houses, but not multi-storied buildings. And with that came the problem of infrastructure. So we don't really have enough roads, they're not wide enough. But apart from that, the utilities like water and electricity is the problem. Water can't be made, and there's limited water. We're already on groundwater. So this is going to be a huge problem.
An eclectic mix of the rich and the famous was an obvious sign that the city was heading towards a world city status. With rapid urbanization, the population increased from 2,000 to approximately 25 lakhs and a floating population of nearly a lakh a day. Yet, an article on the Millennium City by Jim Yardley of New York Times features Gurgaon as a dysfunctional city with an inefficient and corrupt government. According to him, Gurgaon would seem to have everything, except consider what it does not have: a functioning city-wide sewer or drainage system, reliable electricity or water, decent roads, or any city-wide system of public transportation. He asks, how can a huge country flirt with double-digit growth despite widespread corruption, inefficiency, and governmental dysfunction? Is Mr. Yardley exaggerating? Has he not seen the huge amount of construction that is happening in the city? The city has state-of-the-art medical centers, lush green golf courses, stylish apartments, offices of some of the largest multinationals, elegant residential apartments. We thought we needed to prove him wrong, and we were sure we could do it well with facts and figures. Our first stop was with Mr. Atal Kapoor, an architect and resident of Gurgaon.
Sewage, not very many people know the true condition of what actually is happening in Gurgaon. New Gurgaon really does not have a sewage connection. If the new plant comes into play, would have about 150 MLD of sewage treatment facility, whereas the current outflow is 1.5 to almost double that. So where is the sewage going? The sewage is typically in condominiums, sucked out by tankers and discharged either in the rainwater nalas or in empty plots.
A city with no sewage lines or broken sewage lines is bad news, definitely. We wanted to double check.
Behrampur is the name of the place where there was this 50 MLD sewage treatment plant, which was fully, functional, but it simply could not, the inlet was not there. Why? Because somebody has a stay order. So I clearly remember an order having been passed that people who are, getting the stuff sucked out through tankers and trucks. So these tankers and trucks, they were forbidden from throwing it anywhere they felt like. We told them that you bring it to the sewage treatment plant and put it here. And it worked. There was some 200 trucks coming every day, a temporary solution.
There is no connected sewage system, even in the most hep and so-called well-to-do areas where we are sitting right now. The sewage is just lying here, there and everywhere. It is bursting open at various places. It is being pumped out at various places. You see it at the roundabout when you come near the Bristol Hotel. You see it at the Hero Honda Chowk. You see it all along the sides of the road when you travel from South City to Hero Honda Chowk on that internal road.
India, that showed the world 5,000 years ago the best sewage treatment. And in 2011, the Millennium City has broken sewage pipes and a savage way of extraction of sewage waste. What were the authorities thinking?
It's a city which has grown very quickly, right? So there are sewage treatment plants. Today, the sewage treatment capacity in Gurgaon is about 100 MLD, which is more than the requirement by the best world international norms. So those planning was in place, execution was in place, but then, the carriage. So at 6 different spots, the connections were missing and you couldn't connect because somebody had obtained a stay order. Somebody had obtained a stay order not against laying a sewage line, but against government's acquisition of the land.
टाउन प्लानिंग वगैरह पास करती है, जिसमें मतलब उनको पता है कितना लोड आने वाला है, एवरीथिंग है, हुडा इन्वॉल्व होती है, उनको पता है कितने रेजिडेंट्स आप रहने वाले हैं, कितना सुवेज निकलेगा, कितने पानी की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी, कितनी बिजली की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी, ये तो पता है ना. कोई हम इलीगल कॉलोनी तो नहीं बना रहे. एंड द गवर्नमेंट हैज फिनोमिनल पावर्स. These are essential services. How can the government continuously keep saying हुडा करने से हमारी लैंड कम करने में वहाँ एक्विजिशन की प्रॉब्लम है, वहाँ एक्विजिशन की. अरे गवर्नमेंट जो एसेंशियल सर्विस ले जा रही है तो उसमें एक्विजिशन का क्या मतलब है? वो तो जानी चाहिए किसी की भी लैंड हो.
There are sewage treatment plants in Gurgaon, yet their condition is under the scanner, as Amina in her Manesar Citizen Study report clearly shows how rainwater mixes with untreated sewage and the sludge flows into the nearby Kankrola village.
The village of Kakrola, which is next to the sewage treatment plant at IMT Manesar, their water level has risen by 40 feet in the last 6 years. We thought we should feel happy water level is rising, but guess what? Their water level has risen with sewage water. Because the HSIDC does not treat the sewage water, it simply puts it into a kacha pond which it has dug from where it seeps into the ground, and the village of Kakrola is at a lower slope than the sewage treatment plant. So probably the natural gravity of the land, of the lay of the land is taking the water which is seeping underground towards the tube wells of the village of Kakrola. So they have risen, and it is all sewage water. Children there are ill with jaundice, the cows are ill, the buffaloes are ill, the milk is contaminated, the dahi is sick.
The town planners failed to see the growth of Gurgaon. The government failed in implementation of essential services. But why such callousness?
We did an RTI and we wrote to the Haryana government and said, who's done the planning? What is your plan? And here, if you see this, there are 4 people who are involved, as the Haryana government says, in the planning of Gurgaon, and this is the plan which is for the Gurgaon Manesar Urban Complex 2021. And if you see this, there are 2 draftsmen in which the Haryana government says that they don't know what their qualifications are, and they've said the qualifications are not available. If this is the planning of a town as important as Gurgaon, then obviously there are problems and some concerns.
An entire city planned by draftsmen. Why? Where were the architects, civil engineers, the town planners? But of course, nobody was willing to answer that question. The developers are developing the city and getting their plans passed from the authorities, getting licenses to build huge buildings, both for commercial as well as residential purposes. How do they manage?
कोई हाँ रेडको का कोई भी मेंबर ऐसा नहीं है जो बिना लाइसेंस के बिल्डिंग बना रहा है, बना ही नहीं सकता। लाइसेंस चाहिए, प्लान्स पास होने चाहिए, सब कुछ होना चाहिए। तो जब ये प्रोसेस हो रहा है तो इसमें दुनिया भर की तो इन्फॉर्मेशन दी जाती है उनको। इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर उस इन्फॉर्मेशन के बेसिस पे बनना चाहिए ना। इन्फॉर्मेशन भी है उनके पास, पैसा भी है उनके पास, फिर क्यों नहीं है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर?
The Millennium City with no sewage. Big joke. Sewage lying all across Gurgaon. Unbelievable. And to top it all, the city is largely dependent on groundwater, which is possibly contaminated with all the sewage strewn across the place.
For the last 1.5 years, we are trying our best. In fact, I have written and I have told many times to the government that proper sewage line installation is important. Proper sewage pumping station to be installed and proper sewage treatment plant to be installed so that there is no intermixing of sewage water to the ground. This scenario is very serious and it will have direct impact on the human health, and we will increase the asthma, cardiac arrest, nervous breakdown and the cancer.
Huda really does not supply enough water. The city is largely dependent on groundwater. So with the sewage being dumped on open tracts of land, typically very close to the area from which they picked it up, it percolates straight down to the aquifer. Given the fact that we have a cracked quartzite kind of soil in Gurgaon, and 10 meters ahead of that is a bore well which is pumping up this contaminated water. So in times to come, we are just looking at endless waterborne diseases.
Haryana is a landlocked state. The growth of Gurgaon has put a huge pressure on supply of water. Water is used in abundance in the city. It is used for construction purposes, industrial, commercial and domestic use. A report by the Central Groundwater Authority showed that the groundwater is declining at the rate of 6 feet every year in Gurgaon.
The groundwater is depleting at the rate of 7 feet per year, and the total water column available in the Gurgaon is about 580 feet, whereas our water level within 11 years of this development, it has gone up to 300 feet. After a few years, the Gurgaon is going to be the desert. It is a famine-like situation it is going to have after 20 years.
The CGWB report also states that though digging bore wells were barred from 2001, yet there are approximately 35,000 bore wells that have come up in the city, out of which 9,780 bore wells are registered. But according to the report, bore wells are the only solution if the government supply is insufficient.
वाटर में सप्लाई क्या आ रही है? हुडा की आज सप्लाई जहाँ कॉन्डोमिनियम्स हैं जितने कितने 15% से 20% उनकी सप्लाई है रिक्वायरमेंट। यहाँ पे प्लॉटेड एरिया में अगर 18,000 किलोलीटर चाहिए दिन का तो 10,000 किलोलीटर आता है, तो नेचुरली ग्राउंड वाटर से ही बाकी पानी आएगा, नहीं तो लोग पिएंगे क्या?
According to a study by Bangalore-based research organization, the current water availability is 83 LPCD liters per capita per day, which will reduce to 48 LPCD by 2020, while the international standard is 130 LPCD. The situation is alarming. But what about the residents of Gurgaon? Are they not aware of the crisis looming in the future for them?
The good news and the bad news is that most corporates today do not really see the problem in their daily life. So today, when I'm sitting inside my office, I have a regular water supply, and I could pretty much ignore the problem. There is a huge threat looming that in the next few years we may not have enough water to meet our needs, in which case our whole survival is threatened.
What are the solutions? Or are there any solutions? A study conducted by Bangalore-based Research Optimization Initiatives has clearly mentioned harvesting of stormwater as an option.
Truth be faced, I think less than half of Gurgaon has stormwater drainage. And whichever 50% has that stormwater drainage, eventually that stormwater drainage is, finding its outlet, final outlet, into the sewage only.
Every year, during the monsoons, Gurgaon clogs up and it loses precious water due to lack of stormwater drainage system.
If you look at the historic past of Gurgaon, all the water that ran off the Aravlis would run down Old Gurgaon through a series of rainwater nalas and connect onto the Najafgarh Nala. And the Najafgarh Nala drains back to the Yamuna. Today the situation is 80% of these nalas are blocked. They've been either blocked by developers or encroached upon by the villagers. And I blame the authorities for letting that happen. So today we are faced with a situation where the natural stormwater drainage has been completely, put to shame and wasted. But yet, if you go and have a look at the nalas, you'll always find water in them. And that's, the sewage water that I was talking about. So nalas are full, they're going nowhere. Some of them actually do drain out into the Najafgarh Nala, and they end up contaminating the Najafgarh Nala, which goes and contaminates the Yamuna. So the Yamuna is not just being contaminated upstream by Gurgaon, but downstream by Delhi as well. So then we come up with this fancy YAP program to clean the Yamuna, whereas we actually can't address it at the point of contamination or the source.
The Millennium City is bringing in revenue for the government, creating jobs for many. Yet, the apathy of the government continues.
Suppose you were my customer, you would pay me the basic sale price for whatever you're buying from me, and in addition you would also pay me EDC charges. When I deposit with the government is supposed to do the external development work with those charges. Each of the developers, members of the REDCO Haryana and others, they have paid this EDC. It runs into thousands of crores.
Yes, the story of Gurgaon as a dysfunctional city with a corrupt government continues. But we found that all is not lost. The efforts are on, as some members of this society are working very hard towards reversing the situation.
I personally think if anybody wants to do anything for Gurgaon, any IS officer or the government of Gurgaon or Haryana wants to change this place, the first step they have to take is towards sorting out the sewage system in Gurgaon.
Biodiversity Park was completely degraded land. It was part of the Aravlis where stone mining was done. Luckily for us, we saw the potential of creating the whole thing into a park, and a park of a scale which Gurgaon really does not have. The purpose was dual. One was that we create a lum for the city, and the second purpose was, other than recreational, which was part of the plan, is to create pilots within the park which disseminate knowledge on recycle, reuse and renew.
I'd urge all the building residents to explore. When we were young, we wanted to go on an adventure. Well, go on the sewage adventure. Let them file something in the High Court. Let them file something in the Supreme Court after they speak to the relevant colonizer. Let them get huge money compensation back, because this is a crime. If somebody is making the earth wallow in their sewage, it is a crime.
Due to the lack of stormwater drainage, water accumulates on the roads, and it accumulates in all the low-lying areas. So what we have done is that we have created a system of rainwater harvesting which works on this sort of water, which is street water, and we put the water back into the ground, but it filters through. And so we have actually tried to help recharge groundwater from all this water that lies in public areas or in open areas, totally due to the lack of stormwater drainage.
They are doing another canal, I think, which is again just about to get ready, which is 300 cusecs. So almost a mini river the state government is creating for Gurgaon. But yes, that's true. The total availability versus demand, there is going to be a mismatch always, and government effort, however strong, will never be good enough.
The efforts are on, but our inability to speak to the authorities, people who matter most in the development of the city, left us with speculations. Are these efforts enough? Can the government speak to the residents of this Millennium City and answer their queries, give them hope and possibly a deadline? Otherwise, we soon might see an exodus from this city.